I forgot to turn my microphone on again. I don't know, but I'm here, so you can hear me now. Okay. So what I was saying is today we're going to relax and open. It's Friday, and I'm not sure what kind of a week you had this Friday. Um, I know that our lives have changed very much in the last 2 months, and the rhythms of our lives have changed. And I think that deep down underneath it all, it has more to do with the change in the rhythm that threw people off. They were accustomed to seeing their coworkers, or they were accustomed to not having their children at home, whatever it was. Aside from all of the challenges and difficulties, and perhaps if people got sick, obviously that's going to change things. But for those who just kind of have been home, um, it's this matter of um, the quick change that we all underwent and the ability to adapt to it. Some adapted very quickly, some haven't even adapted yet and had a struggle throughout. Um, and what I've really enjoyed, just another moment before we get started, what I've really enjoyed about this period, I know that sounds crazy, but I've enjoyed this period of 2 months, is self reflection. I think that at this time, people were reflecting more than ever. We didn't have a choice, we had to. And for those that didn't, it was very, very difficult. So just take a moment before we start our practice and just consider these 2 months. I heard today things are easing up and people can meet in groups of 10. I haven't verified it, but I believe it's a trustworthy source. And, we're slowly easing out. And let's take a moment to think about how we went through this process and what sorts of emotions came out and what sorts of emotions didn't come out. So just sit up nice and tall. We'll start our practice this way. Close the eyes. Maybe settle the breath first. And let's just practice concentrating the mind. So maybe you've already entertained or reflected on these last 2 months, but see if you can start now. Bring yourself here and just go back in time and find those like significant events, like the moment that you were pulling your hair out or the moment that you were laughing with joy. Just take your way through from now to um, the beginning of our stay-at-home orders, or even before that when you first started to hear about the virus. Imagine yourself, see yourself, different moments. From here to about March. Once you get to March, so you aren't really playing out every moment, you're just getting that flash, seeing it, picturing it, and moving on to the next. And so even if you have just one or two in your mind, maybe 10 or 20, just take a look at them, kind of see them as a composite, maybe like a kaleidoscope. See all the different colors, all the different experiences that have occurred. And let's resolve to understand what we've learned from this period of time. Whether we know what that means or not, let's just resolve and say, I can learn something from this period. I learned about myself, I've learned about others, I've learned about the world. And then we'll start to walk back or forward now in time and kind of skip over like you're galloping or something like that, all the way up into the present. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. We're going to take a few more of these. Deep breath in. Exhale. Now keep the lips closed and continue to breathe this way, this yogic breath. Inhaling, belly expanding, trunk, rib cage, collarbone. Exhale, draw that all in. Kind of washing some things away here so we can find a little bit more clarity. Inhaling, exhaling. And we'll, on the next inhale, take the arms upwards, bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center, close the hands in towards each other, lower the head, and just find one thing that you've learned about yourself in this period of time. Bring it in a statement. I'm resilient. I can move past my wounds. Whatever it is, find it. And then let's remember that our capacity is great. It is so large we can't even imagine it. Our ability to learn and transform and truly know ourselves is possible, especially through this practice. Now let's go ahead and just bow to ourselves. Thank you for being in this practice today. Thank you for offering this time to wind down, relax, and open. And now we're going to shift out of this and move into a wider leg. So we're going to take the legs apart. I'll just keep facing the mirror here. And then what we'll do is relax and let go. So take the hands, walk them forward, and begin to let the head go. Let the knees, if they want to bend, if that helps you feel like you aren't fighting a force. We don't want to feel that. We want to feel like we're flowing with the force. It sounds very Star Wars-y, but that's because they're using spiritual principles. So I do recommend Star Wars. Okay, so releasing down. And now let's move the ankles around. So if you feel like the feet are kind of wound up, maybe you didn't move the feet a lot this week. Circle, point, and flex. It's really important to feel that the feet have mobility so that they can move you around. So let's focus on them for a moment. So just keep going. Maybe you start to experiment and just go with one foot and then the other. And as you're here, you're still letting the trunk go. And if you have blocks that you want to use to support the head, feel free. To see what else can you do. I know growing up, I learned that one of my friends who took a dance class, they used to warm up their feet by tracing the alphabet with their feet, right? So really getting that mobility and in all directions as best as we can. So go ahead and point the toes for a moment. So point the feet, and you find that big extension with the ankle. Now keep the feet in this position, but spread the toes for a moment. Just feel what that's like. So it's kind of unfamiliar, probably. Now point the toes. Now spread the toes. Keep the feet extended like this. Point the toes. Spread the toes. Now just do this a few more times and notice what's going on with the rest of the legs. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and flex the feet. Flex the feet so the toes are now pointing upwards. See if you can release into this, and let's come into Ujjayi Pranayama. So we'll inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, fog out. Mouth stays open, fog in. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. And still here with this breath. And in this breath, let's make another resolution here that we are going to stay focused and concentrated on our practice today, so that even if you're in your physical surroundings that are familiar to you, you can blur all of that out and just let it be in the background. The most important thing right now is your practice. There's nothing else to think about or worry about or entertain in your mind at all. It's just this practice. Complete devotion to this practice of feeling the physical body, being inside, looking through the emotions and the thoughts. They might come in, you might observe, they might go out, just see them go. And now we'll take a clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. See if that relaxed you a little bit more as we're here just a little longer. I almost got us out of this posture, but then I said, no, that felt too good. I could feel a deep release with that breath. So see if that helped you. Take 1 or 2 more cleansing breaths. Clearing breaths, like clearing physical tension, mental tension. Oh, how much of our physical tension comes from our mental tension? And then we'll start to rise at this time. So the legs will need a little help to close. So we're going to walk the hands up and then bring the legs together with the arms. And we will find our way to the back, bring the knees into the chest, and rock a little bit side to side. And what we'll do is find a nice deep back bend to counter that nice deep fold. If you have blocks, bring them close by. We're going to try something different with the blocks. And so first, let's bring the feet down. We're going to come into a bridge posture. Now, feet are hips distance apart. Knees are away from each other, but not too far, just hips distance. Walk shoulders back, Setu Bandhasana. Lift the hips and walk shoulders back towards each other even more. So check in with the knees, draw them towards each other, and feel that the glutes are now active, the inner thighs are now active. You might interlace fingers, press down into the arms. Let the belly move with the breath. The strength of the diaphragm changes everything, so we really want to remember that it's there and keep using it. And then we'll release the arms and exhale, lower down. So we're going to take a block to the feet. So grab 2 blocks. If you have them, if you don't, that's okay. Books would have worked out too, but go ahead and come back to the same position, but bring your feet to the blocks themselves. So I'll give you a moment to figure that out, or run across the house, grab your books. Just kidding, but maybe we'll do that later if you haven't. Now go ahead and find your bridge posture and walk the shoulders back towards each other again. And notice what this feels like. Now you might stay here, you might interlace fingers with arms straight again, or you might bring hands to the sacrum. This feels like it can be maintained longer than the other bridge posture when the feet are on the floor themselves. So we're going to be here a little longer. See if you can squeeze the glutes a little bit more and really find that lift in the hips. Wow, that's beautiful. And then lower the hips down. Release the blocks, bring the knees in. Rock up to seated. And then we're going to come right into a child's posture. Palms down, knees apart, big toes touching. So really, again, focusing on letting go and just flowing. Letting go of the week, letting go of any tension that you created through your habitual reactions, all of that stuff, just releasing, letting go. And then we'll start to move a little bit more. Next inhale, lift the head, walk the arms over to the right. Keep the trunk lifted, the forearms lifted, so you can feel lots of extension. This is more active than that center child's posture. More active in the left side body, right side body. Walk over to the left. And we'll come to center. Next inhalation, rise up to table posture. Hands and knees. And you can roll over the toes if you like and find a downward facing dog, or you can stay in table. But find some movement that feels right to you when you're there. So if you're in table, you might be taking cat-cow, inhaling, belly relaxing, exhale, belly lifting. You can find C shapes here with head and hips going in the same direction, or you can find S shapes going in the opposite direction, which I find very hard to do personally. So if you're in downward facing dog, look for movement there. Maybe it's leg lifting. Same thing in table. Whatever it is, a few breaths. Kind of exploring and looking around, seeing what's there. Now, if you're in table, you'll lift your right leg. If you're in downward facing dog, same thing, right leg, lifting. And then on the next exhale, plant the right foot between the hands and bring the left knee down, but scooch that left foot far back, or slide the left knee far back, and then lift up. So we're in a nice low lunge with the left knee down. Going to take the hands behind the tailbone, interlace the fingers, and squeeze the shoulders back, looking upwards. And release this. Bring the palms together. Hook the left elbow outside of the right thigh or knee. You can keep the back knee down, or you can roll over the toes and lift that left knee. Draw the low belly in towards the spine to give a little space to twist into, and look past the right elbow. Bring the left knee down. Come back to center. Reach the arms upwards. This is a crescent moon. Now take the elbows out to the sides, bending them, and then really send those upper arms back, those elbows back, palms facing forward, looking slightly upward. And take the hands behind once again, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, palms together, left elbow outside that right knee. Maybe you're going to roll over the back toes. Left knee comes down, come back to center. Reach the arms up. Next exhale, hands behind, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulders back. So you see the pattern. We're going to just go through that a couple more times. You can go at your own pace. Palms together, twisting to the left, revolving side angle posture. Maybe knee up. Coming back to center, arms up, crescent moon. Variation with hands behind, interlacing the fingers, squeeze the shoulders back. Palms together, prayer position. Left elbow outside the knee, roll over back toes, lift the left knee. And then just take two more. So center, arms up, hands behind. Palms together, twisting. Center. Hands behind. Lots going on with the left leg, or the right leg, I know. And then we'll bring palms together, twist. And the left knee comes down. Bring the hands down around the right foot. Walk back to your seat. Going to sit on the left heel, or you can bring the left foot to the inside of the thigh, or you can take the legs out in a V formation like we did earlier, or you can bring left foot to the center and right leg out to the right. I really want to leave this up to you. I want you to feel your own body and know what to do next. So go ahead, and once you have the legs set up, then slowly lower the trunk. So hands, depending, could be on the mat, could be on the leg, or even both feet. Let's say we're going to be here for another minute. So knowing that, you might stay here, or you might, in a few breaths, go into a similar variation, a seated forward fold. Couple more deep breaths. And we're going to start to rise. So that's our minute. So we're seated now. Plant the feet. I know this is a relax and open practice today, but we do want to always balance these things with some strength building. So we're going to take a boat posture today. Now you can have the feet planted, you can have the hands planted, and then you might just lift one leg, you might keep that leg bent, you might lift both legs, keep them bent, you might straighten them. You can have support with the hands on the mat or anywhere really. So just see where you can be and take 4 more deep breaths. Might feel a little uneven because of the legs, the work we did. That's okay. Just be aware. Now we're going to come out of this. So if you'd like, you can bring cross the ankles, come forward and take a vinyasa here. If you know what I'm talking about, go for it. And if not, then you'll just switch back over to hands and knees, and then find your posture that you began with with that right side. So either a table posture or in a downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Right knee comes down and far back behind that right hip. And then inhale, rise. Okay, so we're here. Let's take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulders back. Take the arms, bring the palms together, and then we'll twist. Right elbow outside the left knee. Press into that leg. And the leg is kind of pressing back into the arm. And again, maybe you're rolling over the back toes. And lifting that back knee. Now we'll start to bring this right knee down, come to center, reach the arms up. The first time we bent to those elbows and then sent those arms back, looking slightly upwards. So important to focus on keeping the chest open every day contracting the use of the arms. This helps a little bit here, strengthening the back so that we can keep the shoulders back and keep the chest open. Okay, let's go ahead and take the hands behind, interlace the fingers. Squeeze the shoulders back, look up. Come to center, palms together. Right elbow outside the left knee or thigh. Find your twist. And now we'll go ahead and increase the rate of this. So come back to center, reach the arms up. When you're ready, hands behind, and let's begin to just go through this flowing experience on your own. You might add something, might take something away. You might encourage the bending of the elbows this time through each sequence. Be fully absorbed in this motion, in this breath. Everything else becoming background. Just background noise, background support, whatever it is. It's not the focus. Only this practices. Let's say a couple more. Feel all that sensation in the left leg now. Go ahead and bring the hands down. When you're ready, walk back and find your seat, whatever that's going to be, the seated forward fold. Any variation of the legs that feels right to you. And then when you're ready, start to lower down. Let's be here a little bit more. Oh, last time it was a minute, wasn't it? It's probably been a minute. So let's take probably a good clearing breath here. And then when you're ready, start to rise. Okay, plant the feet. We're creating a lot of strength in the hip flexors with this, so we're going to go through another boat posture. And let's see if we can bring palms together and hands close to heart center, and then walk feet in a little bit. Then when you're ready, lift the feet. Now you want to keep the knees close together, so not opening them, although we might take that variation. So let's have fun with this. So actually what we're going to do is bring the soles of the feet together and draw the feet inwards, extend the arms forward. You can keep the palms together just like this, or you can extend the index fingers only and interlace the rest of the fingers. But keep taking the feet in, the chest forward, and then begin to extend. Bring the hands back in, and once again, bring the feet in, open the knees. One more. Extending, hands in, drawing the feet in and the hands out. Okay, now go ahead and plant, release the feet down, bring the soles of the feet together, and lower the trunk. Now for a moment, we're going to do something, because we're going to do this in a different position, but I want you to just feel it while you're here. So take the hands underneath the legs and see if you can take the arms as far back as possible. And just see what it's like. So check in and see with the rotation of the shoulders what's occurring, how the arms feel. Now push the tops of the hands down into the floor. And then relax that, and then push them into the floor. And relax. One more. And then you can release the arms or keep them there if that felt good. Lots of clearing breaths today. Okay. Right from here, start to rise. Close the legs. Plant the feet. Bring your blocks back for another bridge posture with the blocks underneath the feet. So bring them in close enough, and then when you're ready, walk shoulders back, lift the hips. See what variation you want to take. Tight shoulders, this one's good right here with hands upwards, forearms lifted. We're rooting down into elbows, maybe hands to sacrum or fingers interlaced. Draw the knees towards each other, feel the inner thighs working. Squeeze the glutes. This movement with the pelvis, interior tilt, posterior tilt. These are anterior, posterior. These are ways to neutralize the pelvis, the hips, and that will help everything above and below. Okay, so let's go ahead and lower. And now, if you've got the blocks where they are, that's fine. You can bring your right ankle on top of the left foot, and this might be plenty of sensation, or you might want to lift that left leg and draw the hands around the left leg and pull the left leg in to stretch the right hip. Flex the right foot. Check in with the left ankle. Maybe this is a good opportunity for you to continue finding mobility in the foot and the ankle. The toes. We did some work with the toes earlier. Now we're going to draw the leg in a little closer, maybe lift the head, and then unweave the arms so that you can have the hands at a different position on the left leg so you can extend it and still be providing some support. Then point this left foot. You're going to feel plenty of discomfort here. On top of the left foot, the ankle. And one more breath. And then we're going to release and switch. So the foot can come right back down to the block. Right foot on the block, left ankle to right thigh. Draw the right leg in. Flex the left foot. Keep drawing this leg in. And maybe play around with that right foot. So when you're ready, begin to extend. Make sure we get that leg in a little closer. Really pull it in first, and then extend that right leg. Unthread the arms, take them to a different portion of the leg here that you can like lift the head up a little bit, and you still feel like there's a mutual support here. Arms and legs kind of all holding each other up, and the trunk up. So there's not a lot of tension here at all. And then point that foot. Right foot pointing. And exhale, release. Feet down. Let's take another bridge posture. Lift the hips. 5 breaths. And exhale, release. Keep the arms down. The feet might just stay where they are. And just turn the head side to side for a moment. So you might feel some shifting here. Might hear some sounds. And then we'll find center, and we can remove the blocks. And then we're going to rise up, but we're going to come right up into a squat. Now, we're going to first see if we can have the feet together. Now, that's going to be a little bit more challenging. So if squats are hard for you, you're probably going to rise up and get the feet apart first and then come up. So go ahead and rise from here. See if you can keep the feet together, and then use the hands to lift the hips out. So this is really intense, and that's why I say if that is not an option, you're going to separate the feet apart, and you're going to find this squat, even if it's this squat, right? With the hips a little higher, and just see if you can pry the knees open, keep the heart lifted. So this is one option. If you can bring the soles of the feet, the feet together and open the knees, then you're going to be here in a garland posture. And there's a first, we can take the arms forward and let the head come down. And just feel that. The other option is to take the arms underneath the shins, and as we did before, but we were seated, I think, going to take the arms behind as best as we can and let the legs essentially pull or push the arms down. Then we can push the knuckles into the mat and then release and push them into the mat and release, and then maybe again If you're still in your squat, stay there. It's really important. Do your best to just be here. Everything else is background. This practice is all that matters right now. Be fully absorbed in the breath for 5 more breaths. After a nice clearing breath, start to come out and then find a seat. You might just be able to lower right there, but if not, then find your way. And what we'll do is work with the neck a little bit. So bring the hands to the knees once you're in seated. Roll the shoulders in circles. Roll the shoulders the other way. And now we're just going to move a little bit with the shoulders. So hands to the knees, and just take one shoulder forward and then the other shoulder back, and really dig that shoulder blade into the muscles. So you're going to free one up, and then you're going to really activate the other, and then just continue like this. So it feels almost like so intense it could be painful, but it's you have to really know the difference between pain and a little bit more of an intense discomfort, digging that shoulder blade into those muscles. It really does help loosen up the tension there. And just keep going. So our physical tension can be created by the things we do physically. So the way that we are on our computers, the way that we use our arms, the way that we wash dishes, the way that we lift things. You know, that's one cause of the physical tension we have in this space particularly. All spaces really, but this one. So then the other is the way that when we feel tension emotionally, mentally, sometimes we immediately locate that tension. We kind of transfer the tension into body parts. And so upper back is one place that happens very frequently for most of us. So now once we've kind of moved a little bit here, see if you can like more loosely do this. So get creative, just kind of take one shoulder, maybe let the head go and bobble, whatever it is. Maybe you're taking circles. And as you're doing this, check in with the head. Maybe the head wants to join in on the fun. And just evening out, and then once you find your way back to neutral position, hands to knees, bring the chin to the chest. Oh, nice clearing breath. Circle the head. Once chin finds chest, circle the other way. So when we feel this looseness in the body, this sense of being relaxed, life can flow through us more freely. Okay, so let the head hang loose for a moment. Once you've gone through all those circles, bring the head to center, tilt the head to one side, and lower the opposite shoulder down. Just take a nice full breath here. Soften the temples. Come to center. Tilt the other way. Let a little smile appear. Clearing. come to center. And we're going to rest, but before we do, bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Close the eyes, and notice how much easier it is to be here after we've released some of the physical tension, after we've come to a calmer mental state. And let's just remember and trust this principle that all of the difficulties and challenges that we've gone through this week and in the last 2 months and in our entire life, all of those difficulties and challenges are meant to teach us. They are learning points. They are lessons for us so that we can come out of them victorious. We can transcend difficult states of emotion, difficult thoughts. They have to be presented to us for us to become stronger. It's just the way that it is. Let's feel the joy in that knowledge. And release out through the mouth. Let all of it go and come down to your back and get ready to rest in Shavasana. So you can rest in the way that feels best to you. See about taking the shoulders back if you're going to be lying on the back. And then letting the weight of the body come down so that the shoulders stay in that more open position. And keep the palms flipped upwards. Let the toes face away from each other. Softening the temples. Softening the jaw. Maybe open the mouth wide. And then let the jaw go. Now slowly open the eyes. Blur the vision so you can see the tip of the nose. And then keep that sensation, the eyes, that relax, and just close the eyes. You can rest the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Or you can relax it completely, whatever feels right. And feel like somebody is giving you a really nice, firm massage on your scalp. And if you just want to experience that, take the hands there and just go for it, you know. Feel all the tension in this space. You no longer need, you recognize is there. And it is not helping. So we're going to get it out. And then just resting, doing nothing except letting life flow through you. Just shift your attention now to wherever it drifted. That drifting practice itself being so important for the mind to be able to rest. And just start to gather that attention and bring it back in and start to kind of look at the body through the mind's eye. Look at the breath again. Begin to deepen the breath. Begin to move a little bit, maybe the head side to side. Maybe the fingers and toes start to move again. The wrists, joints, and the ankles. And then begin to find your way up to seated. So maybe you're going to bend the knees, roll to your side, or rock right up to seated. And in the beginning of our practice, we called upon our potential. We have a capacity that is so great. And we want to remember that the world is like that, we want to focus our thoughts on the world, that all beings are happy, healthy, and free, living that capacity. So we'll chant Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 3 times. You can listen if you don't know the words. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that's the same light in me. Namaste. Thank you everybody for being here and practicing and gifting this time to yourself, keeping yourself in this practice and not drifting away when it was time to focus and concentrate. And if you did drift, if you did step away and get distracted, it's okay. All you have to do is note it, observe that it occurred, and then decide that next time you'll do your best to concentrate and focus. The more you put your intention and effort into something, it will naturally cultivate, it will naturally grow. So I appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I will play the bowls just for a moment, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to chat or send me an email at news@creativeenergyyoga.com. And just a reminder that these are donation classes. If you can't donate, it's all good. If you can donate, that's all good too. So I appreciate your time and energy, and wish you all beauty and joy today. My pleasure. Thank you. Bye, everybody.